not joking. All my guys, them know me.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa Oti, and if you're new on this channel, please kindly like this video, subscribe to my channel and click the bell so that whenever I post new content on this channel, you'll be the very first to find out. Hey go, you guys, I've not been feeling like posting. I've not been feeling like creating content, but trust me, I'm going to talk about how I've been feeling these days in my next vlog, which should come up after this one. So subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed, and make sure you click that bell. Okay, so how have you guys been? See, just forgive my inconsistency. Really, the plan was to be posting every 2 days, but I don't know what is happening to me. Like, I don't know, I'm just so tired, just wanting to relax. Don't worry, Shan, I'll tell you guys in the vlog that will come up after this one. But yeah, today's topic is not about me. We're going to be talking about us. Like, this needs to be said. I know I've said a lot of things on this channel. I've done so many UK content, countless of content concerning UK. But, you know, I was just thinking the other day, and I'm like, everybody's talking about Japa. I want to Japa to the UK, Japa to Canada. Like, it's like a normal thing. And people will say, oh, that the UK now is the capital of Nigeria. You know, just so many things. Moving to the UK or moving to the Canada is not a day job, not something you wake up one morning and then you carry your bags and migrate. You know, like a lot of processes, so many steps. It takes time, but believe me, that's not even like the main thing. The main thing is, you know, the huge price that we have to pay for relocating. It's a lot. I'm not talking about financially now, to be honest, because even when it comes to the financial aspect, it is still a lot. You know, it takes, you know, millions of naira, thousands of pounds to be able to migrate to the UK. And regardless of the routes that you're using, it takes a lot of money. I mean, moving to the UK has so many advantages, so many benefits, but we don't actually talk about the huge price that we'll pay to migrate to the UK, like the struggles that we'll face, our reality, right? I know in one of my videos, I interviewed some persons. I just asked them, you know, what challenges do you think people face when they move to the UK? And they said a lot of things, and to be very honest, it's true. But yeah, I just want to talk about this topic, you guys. So when it comes to settling in the UK, there are a lot of prices that I'll pay. For instance, family. Raising a child in the UK is totally different from raising a child in Nigeria. For instance, in Nigeria, you can easily spank a child. If your child do anyhow, you will beat Chris come up for the picking body. Like, that's how we always say it. Like when you go to the mall and your child is just throwing tantrums, or in the church and the child just misbehaving and not giving you rest, you slap the child, beat your child so well that the child will not say how and touch her. Nobody will tell the child to sit up and behave. But I mean, in this country, it's not same. You can't even do that. I know people say you're allowed to spank your child, but important is that you don't cause harm on the child. Don't beat the child like an animal. Trust me, imagine you going to the mall and your child is misbehaving. Are you actually going to slap your child the way you feel? You can't do that, because it can be interpreted by people, and they might even call the police on you that you're abusing your child. And you know, nobody ever wants to get to that stage. So when it comes to instilling discipline in your child, instilling the culture, you know, Nigerian culture now, you have to imbibe respect in your child. Like, your child has to understand what respect means. I mean, when you see an elderly person carrying an heavy load, I mean, naturally, you just want to help the elderly person. Or when you're passing someone, you just want to, you have to greet, like, good morning, ma, good morning, sir, you know, those things. But yeah, your children will just say hi, hello, like, that's if they even care, because even me, when I'm walking on the road, I don't see children telling me hi, hello. And you know, these things are so different. So when you find yourself in the UK raising a child, you just find yourself adjusting, like try to adjust to fit into the system. Don't get me wrong, I know I have cousins in this country that they are so respectful, and I keep asking their parents, how did you achieve this? Like, they can even speak Igbo more than me that even grew up in Nigeria. Like, you see them rapping Igbo, and I'm like, wow, your parents actually did a good job raising you guys. Like, I say it a lot. And now that I'm a parent, the way I was raised clearly is not the way I'm going to raise my children in this country. Like, obviously, there will be a huge difference. And like, we don't be talking about, you know, the things they teach these children in school. My first child goes to nursery, right? So he's still very tender. But I heard that people in like primary school, high school, they teach them about sexualism, all this LGBT. Like, it is okay as a lady to like your fellow girl. It is okay as a man to like your fellow man. It's okay not to like your gender, and you know, you can always change, you know, things like this. That's what I was told. I mean, people that have children in school, that this is what they teach them. And I'm like, they are being taught to be open-minded. And you know, when raising a child in Nigeria, we are not so open-minded. We are usually like closed-minded. Now, coming here and seeing these things, seeing your reality, seeing your kids being taught these things in school, and you literally can't do anything about it. The only thing you need to do is that when you get home, you have to try to make them unlearn some of the things they learn outside and relearn the things that you really want them to know. It's a struggle. It is a huge struggle. Like, I can't even imagine how parents do that, to be very honest. And, having them mix up in school, talking about sleepovers in school. Like, you can literally tell your mom, oh, I want to go for sleepover at my friend's place. This is not really that common in Nigeria. And then you come to the UK, like, a lot of things are so different, and you're like, where exactly am I going to start from with these kids? How do I get it right? What exactly do I do? Because clearly the worst thing that can happen to any parent is not to get it right with their kids. Like, it's going to be very devastating. Like I say it a lot of times, my journey in this abroad will come to an abrupt end the very moment I notice that my kids are going haywire. I notice that I can't control them anymore. No, that's where I have to draw the line, because what am I existing for if my kids are just haywire, doing things they like, not listening to me as their mom, because they feel like, oh, they are in a society where they can do a lot of things and go scot-free. So we don't really talk about this part of migrating to the UK. And to be honest, we need to talk about these things often. And also, living in the UK, like, you have to try to create time for your family. Unlike in Nigeria, where the typical work setting is 9 to 5, is, I think, no, 8 to 6, not 9 to 5. 8, I think, yeah, is it 8 to 6? Yeah, 8 to 6. And then people that go out for their business, at least 8 p.m., you're inside the house. I mean, you as a man, you go out to work. You as a wife, you go out to work. At least, 8 p.m., everybody's home, family time and all that. But here in the UK, it's so different, because most times it's rare to find husband and wife at home at the same time, except they create that time for it. Because, I mean, most times the man has to go out to work during the day and the wife go out to work at night. Like, when I was working, I was doing night shift and my husband was working day. It's just that now I can't do night shift, clearly, because I don't expect him to look after 3 kids at night. Do the night routine alone with 3 kids. So finding a balance is hard. For me now, it is really hard for me, and I'm like, okay, I earn less, you earn more, you pay more of the bills, and so what's the point? Obviously, you can't stay home and look after the kids while I go out to work. How much am I going to bring from out there? Do you get the point? Yeah, so coming from Nigeria, where 8 p.m. everybody's at home, but here in the UK, it's so different. So how then do you create that family time? Make sure you're bonding with your partner, you're bonding with your kids. And of course, childcare is not one era. Like I said, I've got 3 kids. My first child goes to nursery. The first nursery I attended, we're paying about 500 and something for him a month for just 2 days a week. And that was when I was working. Even when my mom was here, I was at home, it was still going to that same nursery. We're still coughing out 500 and something every month for him. It was when we found out about a particular nursery setting where you can just go to school 9 to 3 and pay less. I think now we pay about £22 per day for him. But where he was before, we're paying, I think, either £54 or £53 per day. Now imagine, because I have to go to work now, I'll now have to pay this for 3 kids. Like, how realistic is that? So we are still paying it for him while I'm just at home, clearly because of my twins. Now most family, they just have to find a way around this thing, find a way to sort out childcare. Like, they just have to find a way. Unlike in Nigeria, so I'm using Nigeria, I'm from Nigeria, so that's literally where I've been almost all my life before moving to the UK. So I understand the system in Nigeria. I don't know about other countries, right? So that's why I'm always talking about Nigeria on this channel. Sorry guys, but yeah, you get the point. Like in Nigeria, where there's a living nanny, or your cousin can just pop in, or your sister can pop in, your mom can come around, your in-laws can come around to stay with the kids. Or let's say you're working 8 to 6 and your children, they finish 3 p.m. You can easily just call your friend or your sister, oh please, help me pick these children, they'll be at your place. When I finish from work, I will come get them from your house. But it's not really so common. Yeah, I know people do it. I feel if you have a really strong Niger community where you are, and that's what I'm grateful for where I live. I live in Huddersfield and we have a very strong Nigerian community. That's why I'm able to do this street interview asking Nigeria, because when I go out to my town center, it's as if I'm in Oshodi. Like, you just see Nigerians left, right, center. So if you're able to socialize and form that community, or make 1 or 2 friends that have got kids, so that they can bring their kids to yours and you can take your kids to theirs, it's better. But all I'm saying is that people don't really think about these things. The only thing their head is, I want to Jabba, I want to move to the UK, but you can move to the Canada. But are you actually ready to readjust? Are you ready to reset your brain to the system? Also, people will talk about the change of career. A lot of people come into the UK and they work in care. Like, I personally know someone that was working in Oye company in Port Harcourt, and I keep asking him till date, Oga, Why did you leave your job, your good paying job? You're like insecurity, this one, that one. He has his reasons, the man, but I still can't understand because now he works in care. Yes, he's making the money, but that's because he works literally 5 times a week or sometimes 6 days a week. He's out there working. And this is someone that had a really good job. I know something trended on TikTok where a former bank manager came to the UK and started working as a cleaner. Most of when people move to the UK, they have to change their career. Even a doctor, probably a consultant in Nigeria, will move to the UK and start from house officer level. A lot of things will definitely change. If you were into tech in Nigeria, you might come here and you find yourself doing care. Like most students in the UK, they do care jobs. Like that is what they have to do to survive. And believe me, it is not easy. And you know, starting all over again, literally when you migrate to any country, you're literally starting from the bottomest pit. bottom. Yeah, something like that as even getting accommodation. In that video, I'm going to leave the link in my description box. People were saying accommodation issues, accommodation. Like now, as we speak, getting an accommodation, it is so hard. You will so pay Airbnb money before you can finally get an accommodation. And when you finally get one, the landlord tells you to pay 6 months upfront. Let's say your rent, for instance, is £600. 600 times 6, guys. Just imagine. And then when you're thinking about buying a house, you know you cannot just come to the UK and the next day you're talking about buying a house. You have to save. You have to build a credit score. Like you have to put your finances in check so that you can be able to get a mortgage. I'm not saying that the UK is bad. I'm not trying to discourage people from coming to the UK, but I'm just talking about the high price that we pay, the struggles that we face, guys. It is a lot. It is a lot. And sometimes you just ask yourself, is it really worth it? Honestly, is it really worth it? That was why I asked people in one of my street content, you know, just from you people to get that, you know, real response from people. Now I remember asking some people, would you go back to Nigeria? And some person will say, oh, insecurity, they're not going back to Nigeria and all that. So sometimes you're wondering, is it not just better to remain back home? Especially if you're seeing the money, because we all know that Nigeria is all about money. Sometimes it's not better to just remain back home and face your career, face whatever it is that is giving you money, face your business, than actually migrating and starting from the scratch, guys, from the scratch. When it comes to your career, or starting from the scratch, financially, you're almost starting from the scratch. Believe it or not, most people, they sell their lands, they sell their houses, they take loans to be able to migrate. And you're like, is it not better you just stay back in your country and just keep doing what you're doing, keep being hopeful, than actually, you know, migrating? As in, it's confusing, right? Because it's really hard out here. Like, the good thing is that in the UK, when you work hard, you're most likely going to see the results, right? And of course, we know no place is 100% secure. Like anything can happen to anyone. We all know about the knife crime here in this country. But the most important is that the security level, I mean, you really can't compare it with that of Nigeria. This is not to discourage anybody, but rather to just let you know, the reality of actually moving. And I pray that you know, if you're planning on moving to the UK or you just moved, I'm praying that you receive the grace to settle fast and the strength to be able to overcome every obstacle that comes your way. Because trust me, you really need God's grace. You need strength from God. You need to be able to understand that it's a journey that is worthwhile. And also pray that you just receive the grace to be able to just get it right with your kids, you know, raise them well, not lose yourself in the process. Because you keep asking, why do people come to the UK and then they just divorce after some years? Like, you just look at your partner, you don't feel anything for your partner because people barely have family time. Your partner is always out there, you're always out there. At some point, you start to feel like you're even living with a stranger. Like, who is this person I'm even living with? And you're like, oh no, I don't think I can take this anymore. I'm just done. I hope people get the point. So when you're talking of japa, oh, this person don't japa, oh, me, I want japa, reflect and think about the reality that you're most likely going to face. Think about your reality, guys, if that makes sense. Anyway, you guys, so show me in the comment section the high price that you paid for moving to the UK or you paid for moving abroad. Like, what are the sacrifices that you've had to make so far? You know, share with us in the comment section. Never can tell, somebody might just, you know, learn from it, guys. Finally, I filmed this video. Like, this video, I've always had it in my head, but I'm like, how do I actually put my words together? Like, I'm so happy I've been able to film this video. I don't know, maybe it's just Holy Spirit that is telling me, film, Melissa, film. Somebody wants to hear something from me. Somebody wants to hear this. Holy Spirit is speaking through me. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. My G's, like, you guys are amazing. Oh, I swear down. You see all of you that are supporting me. push no movie. Don't worry, when I blow. Oh my god, thank you so much, guys, and I will see you on in my next one. Bye, guys.